All right, members of the culture. I am Ra, and you are here. Welcome in, everybody. It's good to see you. And it's good to be back. I took a little bit of a hiatus and a couple things going on, because life be lifing. But nonetheless, I'm here. I'm back, and I'm ready to talk to you about yet another wonderful topic here in our community, right? Or our culture, as I call it. The purpose of today's video, well, I'll say the title of it is going to be Five Things I Wish I Knew. Yep. Five things I wish I knew. And that means when I started collecting, and for those that don't know, I started, this journey of collecting really 30 years ago, over 30 years ago. But recently, when I came back about 5 years ago, when I got back into the game, and that was really, really important. So if I had known these five things then, both times, particularly this last time, it would have been way more helpful. You would have thought I'd have known it, but for whatever reason I didn't. And it's cool. The journey's still fun because every day is a blessing, and I'm thankful for all the experience. Before I do this video, I want to shout out because part of the inspiration of this video comes from my main man, Clever's Multiverse. Check him out if you have not. Thoughtful brother, good insight, great content. So if he's watching, what's going on, man? Second shout out to my main man. I got to make sure I say this right. Tony the Toy Rat. All right, got to give my man Tony the Toy Rat a shout out. Good dude, great channel. You should probably check him out too. Gives you all the information you could possibly want in the realm of statues and things like that. Very knowledgeable, good dude too. Now, on to today's video. Five things I wish I knew. So the very first thing I'm gonna tell you right now is that number one, it's never over. Okay. And what do I mean by it's never over? It's never over meaning like when I first got in the game, I was just collecting figures. I mean, I can't say it was real rhyme or reason. I like Street Fighter, and that was one of the things. Sorry, well, they would stack Street Fighter and Spawn were really what I was looking at. But Spawn first. I was like, man, I like this line. It's cool. Let me grab it. And I didn't really have an end game, right? If that makes sense. I didn't have a direct path. Like I was, at least the road never had an end the way I saw it. Like I figured in my head, I was like, you know what? I'll just collect Spawn here or there and some Street Fighter and that'd be it. So actually, let me backtrack that. So yeah, I thought I had an end to the road. I was like, I'm just gonna collect these Spawn figures. I'm just gonna collect a few of these Street Fighter figures, and that was gonna be it. Gonna be the end of story. Bam. Right? How naive was I? Even though I knew Street Fighter had a huge roster, I was like, man, well, that's it. That's it. Not knowing that when I started collecting, other things were going to catch my eye because so many other things did. Started out with Spawn, like I said, the Street Fighter crept in. So here was Street Fighter. Now you got to remember, as a kid, I had these toys that I didn't collect, but I had, like Muscle. I had so many of those things. Army Men. I might be dating myself. Some of y'all might be too young to know what I'm talking about. But Army Men, Muscle. I even had the Garbage Pail Kid collector cards. I don't know if you know about that. Shout out to Garbage Pail Kids. Woo, going back, going back. But nonetheless, I'm not getting off topic. That's how I started as a kid. You should have known. In my head, older me that starts collecting when I'm in my 20s, right? Thinking right around early 20s. I'm thinking, okay, I'll just get this line, and that's gonna be that. It's not really gonna be that serious. Well, I don't know if I thought that the world just stopped at Spawn and Street Fighter. Clearly, it didn't. I'd had Transformers as a kid, and I I guess I forgot about all those experiences at that time. But there was always something else, right? So when I came back in the game, right? Fast forward, I get back in the game after getting out. And all of a sudden, the collecting is it's a big thing because when I did it, there weren't that many of us back then that were collecting, right? We had people that kept certain things, but I wouldn't really say we were collectors, if that's a good word, right? Um, we had stuff, but it was just like a hobby here and there. It wasn't serious like it is now. It's big $1 billion business right now. Tariffs be damned. I ain't gonna go off on that, but nonetheless, it's big business right now. And when I came back, I didn't know where to start, man. Like when I was in the game before, like I said, as naive as I was, I had a path, but I wasn't as confused. Now that I come back, these are not the Transformers that I know. They're made of plastic. They're not die cast anymore. Not to mention, shout out again to Clever's Universe breaking it down. Transformers was so much bigger now than when it was then. And me remembering Transformers, I thought it was big then. but it's only grown exponentially since then. And now they got all these classes, and I'm just confused because I'm like, well, where do I start, man? I just like G1. I don't know about Beast Wars. I don't know about all these other ones they have. Like I watched Wolf of Cybertron on Netflix, which was cool because it went back with the retelling. I could vibe with that. But when I went to Target and I looked, man, I see all these classes and I'm like, wait a minute, man. Can I not just pick up Optimus Prime or Starscream or Megatron or Brawn or Red Alert or whoever I'm gonna get, man? Wheeljack. See, I'm old school. But if I just went back, I'm just wanting to just grab them and that's that. But they got classes, right? And the price ranges, it's like all over the place. They're from so you could get into it to Clever's point, which is awesome. You can start, but then you don't know how deep the rabbit hole is. So with me jumping back in, I got all these other figures. I'm like, man, I'm not really sure if I'm ready to go back, to try Transformers yet. I'm gonna have to lean on some of the people that I know that collect Transformers that can give me, the what's up on Transformers because I don't know. If you're a new dude, I think it's great that they can get into every pocket, but it's also confusing because you don't know where to go, what class to pick, what the price ranges mean. Like the Transformers. Also, I saw something on the back. I can't think of the one I just saw the other day at Target. Oh man, I wish I could tell you. I took a picture of it, but nonetheless, it said it had like 40 steps to transform. And it wasn't like, the Transformers I remember. It wasn't like Metroplex or Trypticon or something like that. This was just a regular one. It was like 54.99 in the box. It's like 36 or 40 steps to transform. I was like, man, it's like a puzzle. This is not, back in the day, you transform like boom, 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 boom. That's it. It wasn't like 40 steps. At least I don't remember 40 steps, but nonetheless, I'm getting off on a Transformers tangent. But the point was, there's so much now that wasn't there then. Like it's only expanded. So you'll think to yourself when you get in here, I would say I'm not gonna tell you streamline because you never know, man. If you collect, you collect. But try to streamline your experience will be some advice I could give you. Find a couple of lines to start and understand that it's almost never over, And when I say it's never, I mean not almost. It's never over because you'll think that if you really like collecting, when you get this next figure, you'll say, oh, okay, this is cool. I don't need nothing else. And all of a sudden, you'll see something else that catches your eye, right? So, like in the case of me, I'll give you want a live example? Here's a live example. I never had an Iron Man in any shape, form, or fashion in my collection. All right, so boom, Ultimate Iron Man right here, right? You see him right there. Thought that figure was really, really cool because I didn't have one. Then I look on the back and I'm like, okay, so this is the ROM Space Knight everybody's talking about. Okay, I got a Spider-Man, Miles Morales, I see that. And then I'm like, Banshee, I got a Banshee up here on my wall. Now he came in that 3-pack, they did for the X-Men cover for, I think it's X-Men 300, I think, or whatever, that 250. I forgot which episode it is. But they're in the yellow and black uniforms. Yellow and blue uniforms. And Banshee's in that, but his traditional uniform is for the figure is this right here. So now I'm like, man, let me grab this. I was like, that look like Wolverine. I don't know the story, right? But my point is, out of nowhere, here comes this figure, right? So I'm like, okay, bam. All right, I'm thinking that's it. That's one thing that's got me off my path because I'm really focused on DC Multiverse at this time, right? But I'm like, all right, cool. I ain't got nothing else to worry about. Batman 1 million, right there. Seeing you with your own eyes. Pick that figure up. So I say that to say this. It's never over. Just unless you are extremely disciplined and extremely streamlined and say, hey, this is what I'm doing with my disposable income. I'm sticking to these lines and these characters. That's going to be it. It's never over. So it's okay to know that. I didn't know it at that time, but for you that are starting out, you got to know it's never over. And it's okay as long as you know that. Next thing I knew, timing was everything, right? I wish I had known timing was everything because I'd go out and hunt and I had other people that would find stuff and I'd be like, man, how'd you find this? Well, I was at this Walmart on this day, or I was at Target at this time, or I was over at the GameStop over by the mall over here at this time. And I'm like, man, I'm not finding any of this stuff. And don't get me wrong, I'm not out, going on a hunt every day, and that is fun. Those of us that collect know about the hunt, how fun it is. But I'm hunting enough to where I should be seeing this kind of stuff. But I guess, time is everything. So you have to realize, don't get upset if you're out on the hunt and you can't find the figure you're looking for. Because if I live in Memphis, right? So it's the biggest city and a bigger city than places I've been before. And you have to know that there's a lot of chances to find stuff. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but don't get discouraged. You'll have another bite at the apple, is what I'm basically saying. Timing is everything. That's something else I need that I wish I knew, so I wouldn't be so frustrated and upset at times, right? Three, you got a network. I wish I had known that, right? So when I collected back in the day, man, it was really not that many folks that did it. And as far as my friends, I was really maybe only one other cat within my crew was collected. Nobody else was collected. So we didn't really have a way to network, back then, again, dating myself, internet wasn't popping like that, right? Google wasn't a thing. You couldn't really just do it like you couldn't do it like that. You just had to kind of rely on finding stuff and someone telling you about it when y'all hung out at the arcade or whatever you did, however y'all linked up, somebody would say, "Oh man, I saw this over here." It's not like it is now where it's instant. I can just post something to Instagram or YouTube like this or Facebook, and all of a sudden, oh man, he saw that figure up there. Let me run up here and grab it. Because we got guys, I'm in like 4 or 5 groups now. I'm sure some of you out there listening belong to groups, right? If you don't, it's a good thing. You got to network, because networking, if the group is doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is helping each other, helping the culture build, you're gonna find it, right? You're gonna be looking for certain things. If you connected with certain people, know, hey, I'm looking for this figure, this figure. When they see it, they post it or they message you or whatever. Hey, yo, check this out. I'm up at this Walmart right now, son, and it's up here. Something like that. Networking, it's not what you know, it's who you know. I promise you, you got to network. I wish I had known that back in the day. And when I first came back in the game, I found out kind of quickly. I started learning it about 5 years ago that it mattered who I knew, right? So you got to network. That's another thing. Number four, what's my budget? When you collecting, man, this is so difficult to say because I can tell you I haven't ran afoul of this so many times. Man, you got to say, what's my budget? Because at the end of the day, this stuff's disposable income. Yeah, we can all see it. We can touch it. Man, we can pose it. We can do whatever we want to. We can see it, and it transports us a lot of times back to either memories of our childhood or to a place where we're not thinking about, utility bills and kids and rent and mortgages and car payments and, the stress sometimes your job puts on your life. This is like your private time, your peace. Just like some people play video games or whatever, that's their escape. This provides a nostalgic kick for some people, but it is their getaway. Like the studio I'm coming to you from right now, as you can see, is a studio slash man cave, right? Because I have all kind of figures and stuff like that in here. Sometimes to escape the day, I come in here and I just look at my figures. Sometimes I reorganize them or do whatever. But sometimes I just sit up here and just look at them, and I think, I'm grateful and I'm appreciative for the blessings. But I just think about how cool this stuff is, or I think about the comics that they related to, that issues that I may have read or haven't read yet, or graphic novels that some have inspired. Like I got Watchmen figures somewhere over here in this corner, but it's so many things that I may, that it's like an escape. Right, like anything else, it's my escape for the day. I'm not harming. I'm not hurting nobody. It's me. It's my escape, and it's I want to call it a vice because I don't say it's a vice, but it's my escape, and it's how I decompress sometimes to get away from the world. But the point is, you got to have a budget, right? Because if you don't, remember what I said earlier, it's never over, right? And that ties back in. It's always the next figure around the corner, something you may not even collect. Like for me, I do a lot of DC Multiverse, a lot of Marvel Legends, but if I could take you around this room, I got a lot of Spawn figures up there. I got I do NECA stuff, so I got Turtles over here. Stuff you can't see. Dragon Ball Z is down there. Masters of the Universe. There's some Funko Pops over there. I got Storm over here over my shoulder. It's over there, as you can see. I mean, so I do a lot. Resident Evil, man. I got a lot of different lines, right? That I support because if it's cool and I understand the characters, and it's cool to me, I like it, I'm gonna get it, right? But even I have to say, hey man, what's my budget? Because Like I said, life is real. You want to be those one of the persons that you don't want to be a person that says, "Man, this is what I wanted." You get it, and then life's, and you have to sell stuff. It's okay, that happens. But if you stick to a budget ahead of time, I think it's less likely that you encounter that. So trust me, don't be like me. Like the first time around, and you don't know what your budget is, and you just out here going ham because it can come back to bite you. Okay, last thing I wish I knew was why am I doing this? Why am I buying these figures? What is my end game here? Like when I first started back in the day, I said I kind of thought I was just gonna get these two figures, get these two lines or whatever, and that was just gonna be it. But there wasn't really a why. Like I liked it. I couldn't really tell you. I did like Spawn. I was connected. I liked the character. I liked the story or whatever. And I started getting the figures, and there's a lot of Spawn figures out there, man. Still to this day, and some of them go for big money, right? 10th anniversary Spawn will bust you to the white meat, and I'm actually like one put out like 10 years ago, and I really do want it. It's like 20 years old. I mean, but anyway, that's a story for another day. But the point is, I had a connection with it. I liked it, but I couldn't really tell you like why. Like I just said, that's cool figures. With the situation the way it is now, the why is really really important. Like, cause you got people that resell. You got people that buy. That are real collectors like you and I, like some of the people that listen. I'm not saying you and I like we're sitting here because we are, but you and I, right? We're collectors. Like this is what we do, right? And then there's people that resell, and they got various reasons as to why they collect. But as long as they have a why and they know what the why is, that's what matters, right? You don't want to, like I said, you don't life be life, and you don't want to be out here just randomly buying figures because if me personally, like if you're not connected to it in some way, shape, form, or fashion, if it doesn't emotionally connect with you on some level, what is it doing on your shelf is what I think about, right? Everything that I have, there's a reason for it, right? Like I like DC. I do like Tom and Fall of 7-inch figures. I ain't got no issue saying that. But so I like the Green Lantern course. So you can't see him over there. I doubt it's probably blocked. But I got Green Lantern figures over there. Avon Sur and Tomo Ray, Kilowog, and Batman is Green Lantern. Guy Gardner, So I like that line. I do. And I said, man, these are cool. So I collect those for that reason. I went and I started doing the yellow lanterns, right? Because I thought that was really cool. And then, of course, if you do DC Multiverse, you got to do a Batman, right? You got to have Darkseid. He's a big bad. I got three Darkseids, right? Don't ask me why. There's three of them up there, including that Mega Fig that is cool for display and nothing else. And then I got the DC Icons one, and then I got the one by Beast Kingdom, which I think was underrated. I really do like that figure a whole lot. But my point is, I'm a collector. I accepted it in my heart. So when I say, why am I doing this? I do it because I love it. I truly love collecting figures. There's no doubt about it. And I won't just collect anything. It has to be cool to me. Like it has to resonate with me in some way, shape, form, or fashion, whether it's a nostalgic pop, whether it's something I've always liked to begin with, whether it's something I just see and I'm like, man, I want to learn more about this particular character. It could be that. But the point is, there's a why to it because if there's not a why, you can experience burnout a lot faster. FOMO is a lot more common with that. It's just one of those things that you have to understand why I'm doing it. As long as you know, that's what matters. You ain't necessarily got to articulate that to me or anybody else out here on this internet or otherwise. But as long as you know why you're doing it, that's what matters, man. If it brings you joy, brings you peace, you're not harming nobody, and you're able to do it, man, God bless you. Go forward and do that, brother. So that's important. If you those are five things that I wish I knew when I first started collecting and when I came back. I'm hoping that those five things I shared with y'all out there totally help somebody else. If you're just not getting ready to start on this journey, good luck to you by all means if you're going out there to do it. But if you're about to start doing that, man, I hope those tips help you. I hope for the people that are already in the game that have been doing it, OGs and vets, that maybe I took you on a trip down memory road or brought some positive thoughts to mind. Where you say, oh, yeah, I remember that. Oh, I wish I had known that. As long as I'm helping somebody, man, that's what this really is about. This is a hobby, and it's a culture, it's a movement, but it brings us together, man. Guys and girls of different ages, different colors, different ethnicities. You know what I'm saying? Everybody all connected. It has I think I saw an ad for Sideshow. It's true. It says our hobby has the ability to connect multiple people on different levels, and I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. with this hobby. It is unbiased, and that's one thing I love about it. It can bring people together just in its actual purity and content. It has the ability to uplift people, make people feel better, and actually incite some positivity and some positive conversations, some good feelings. You know what I mean? The hobby is everything. I said that. If you never watched one of my previous videos, and I'm not gonna do a shameless plug by saying that, but if you haven't seen one of my previous videos, go check that out where I explain why I started this channel and why I got back in this hobby. But anyway, until we meet again, I say the same thing every time. But until we meet again, I want y'all please stay collecting. I want y'all please to stay tuned. And above all, I want y'all to stay great. I'll catch y'all on the next video. Please make sure you check out the channel. Please like, share, subscribe. I got a bunch of stuff coming down the pipe, man. You're going to love it. Peace.